Hi Julia, what's here? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Elizabeth Craft Designs and I'm going to be doing my February dashboard finally. We're towards the end of February and I'm only just getting around to doing it. I've had it prepped for a while, but you know, I haven't got around to doing it. So you will find some of the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and in the description of this video there is also the links to where you'll find the products over at ecraftdesigns.com in the US. And if you enter code Julia Watts Crafts in the discount code box at checkout, you should get 10% discount on orders over $25. There's also links for where you might find some of the products over at ecraftdesigns.eu over in Holland. And if you enter code Julia Watts Crafts-EU in the discount code box at checkout, then you'll get 10% discount on orders over €25, I believe. That's all the admin out of the way. So what are we doing? I have been using the abandoned papers. I think that's going to be my papers I'm going to be using in February. In January I used the Rustic Winter. So yeah, abandoned papers. Haven't got a header sheet to show you because I don't know where my header sheet's gone, but you will find them over on my website. Really pretty papers designed by Devid, and I've used the Yes Joy die set. Let me grab it, which is, come here. Here we go. It's this one, which is 2077, the Yes Joy page, and I've used it just to cut these two frames out. That's all I'm using it for. I'm not using anything else on the set this time. And because it's open, I've cut a backer page. Now we won't be seeing any of this unfortunately, which is a real shame, but I will have that lovely script design on the back when I come to do a page on the back side at some point in the near future, hopefully. So yeah, this is, I've just used one of the blank pages. Not sure if this is available, but I will put a link if it is. It's 1606 Planner Essentials 4, and I've just used it for the blank page. There's lots of pages with decorative edges available, and also some of the tab pages are available too. So if you can't get the blank one, the others will do. It's just so that this has got something to sit onto. And then I've got cut February out of the vertical months, which is, for me, is definitely a must-have. It's a really lovely font on this, and you get all 12 months, obviously, and the fall away is usable as well. And obviously you can cut them down, you can just use the fall away. If you cut them down, you can actually use them in the sidekick as well. In its full size, it works perfectly within your full size plan. So those are they. And I've just cut a strip of card, which is just under 3/4 inches wide. Don't do centimetres very often. In fact, I could tell you centimetres because I have my little tape measure. It's probably not. It's just a bit smaller than, you can just measure the die cut and just cut it a bit smaller. It is actually 1.8 centimetres wide. And we're going to just glue this on here. And I have got the fall aways, so I can put the fall aways in place as well. So let's get that all stuck down. If we're not bunged up. We're bunged up. Let me unbung. Okay, we're unbunged. So let's get this glued down. You can, of course, cut it out of a self-adhesive sheet if you want to. But it is quite easy to glue this. And of course, with the self-adhesive, you've got to be sure about getting it down in the right place. There's always pros and cons for each type of adhesive that you use. And this is a dark brown card that I've used. It might look black on the screen, but it is a dark brown. hang my glue upside down. It'll rattle, but at least I should be all right. So let's just put this on here. It should be trimmed to the right length as well. So you can see it's just shy of the width and just shy of the length. There we go. Got a little bit of oozy glue there, but I can rub that out with an adhesive eraser in a minute. I should have all my little bits as well. I did cut it out again using the paper, but I'm thinking that if I do that, then I'm not going to get the pop of colour, and when you see what else is going to go on there, I think I need the pop. So that's my February. I've got all my February to use on another project. These are my A's and my R's. Where's my it might be A's and B's. I know I put the other one separate somewhere. There's my B's. There's my B. Look, I put a little note in it so I don't get my R's and my B's mixed up, just in case. So we don't need that. We can use that for something else. Maybe even use it next year. Sleeves. Right. Now you could drop a die cut in here and to get the spacing properly, but we'll just go for it. I don't need much on the A. There's my R. Okie dokie. So something that's very, very useful when you are doing this sort of precision dropping in of bits is the these little wax pickup tools. I will put a link where you can find these on my website. They are from Sentimentally Yours. This is my A and my R's. Very important you don't lose your bits, because then you'll have to cut them again. And I just don't like to see them just like that. I like to have the bits put in. So this is an R. Slidey, come on, get in the right spot. I want it level with the foot there, I think. That's pretty good. Okay, I'll have that. And then we've got the little A. Let's just move that over ever so slightly, because once it's stuck, it's stuck. And the other R. Definitely don't want a drunk R, do we? Does that need to go up a bit? That's a bit high. Okay, that looks pretty good. Still faffing. And where's my B's? There's my B's. And my 1B, my 2B bits. You don't want to sneeze when these come out, because otherwise they might go flying. You definitely don't want to laugh, Julia. Right, turn that over. There's my 1B. I think that's the right way up. Let me feel it. That's the back. As you know, when you do a die cut, you've got a rounded edge on the top and a rough edge on the bottom, on the back rather. I think that's definitely smaller on the top, isn't it, than on the bottom. My pin. Okay, here's my February. Looks fab, doesn't it? Right, I'm just going to put that aside. I might put it into an MDF sheet actually, and then it'll be flat. Okie dokie, so there's my dashboard. Not my dashboard, my month. Now for my focal point, I'm going to use this beautiful stamp by Devid, which is CS392 Rose. Absolutely beautiful stamp. I love this the second I saw this. So we're going to actually use this because February is the month of love and all that, isn't it? So it's standard to give roses on Valentine's Day, which was my mum's birthday, had she still been with us. So we're going to stamp this, but I'm not going to colour it in red. I'm going to do it in pink so it coordinates with the paper. And I'm going to actually stamp on the left-hand side here because I find it easier. And they are really nice colour photopolymer stamps here from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Okay. So it is. It's not A6 because you've got your border underneath, but the actual stamp set is an A6 stamp set. Pop it on there. See exactly where it's going because it's a dirty stamp. I like a dirty stamp. And I'm just going to roll it off and then roll it on again just in case I've got an air bubble when I put it on. Working in about 6 centimetres of space. So Nocturne, Versafine Clair, because we're going to be doing some watercolouring. Lots of tapping. Might not be that sharp the first time I stamp it because this is the first inking today, but we'll see. That's the beauty of a stamping platform, you can go again. If you wanted to emboss it, Versafine Clair stays wet for quite a while, which has got its pros and cons, but you know, dust with an anti-static bag first and then you can pop your embossing powder on top. Let's see how you get on. Here. Do a bit more in the middle. More down there. Really pretty, but I say I am going to go again because I want it darker. And you've got that lovely text behind it. I remember when I watched the video that Devid did when he launched this, that he's not done the text right the way up to the flower. So if you want to fussy cut it out, you're not going to have, it's going to be easy for you to do, even if you want to leave a slight white border around the leaves and the flower. Like I say, there's a slight gap, which is very thoughtful. Let's see where we're at now. That's better, that's darker. Let's just go a little bit there. Get that bit. And a little bit just there. And a bit more there. There we go. Isn't that a lovely stamp? Absolutely beautiful. Okie dokie. So so that's that stamped. I would normally stamp it twice, turn it around and stamp it again, but I'm not going to do that today. I have got one that where the ink is nice and dry, so we can do a bit of colouring in on that one. Let's fetch this off here because I do want to do a little bit more stamping because there's 2 stamps in the set and it would be rude not to actually use the other stamp in the set. Got ink all over my fingers. So let's put that aside for now. Really pretty. Love it, love it, love it. Right, where we're putting that, we're putting that over there. So yes, I've got another little piece of, this is actually super smooth watercolour card, like what I've just stamped the rose on, and it is really nice to stamp on because it's nice and smooth, but you can move your watercolours around on it, which is quite fab. Now in the bottom area, so the rose is going to go in the top, and the bottom area we're going to pop this stamp here, this border stamp that comes in the set. So we're going to stamp it once here. Again using Nocturne Versafine Clair. Good old press. Might need to go twice again. Oh, it's pretty good actually. I'll just give it another press in the middle there. There we go. Oh, can you see? I'll move it down a bit. Sorry about my dirty back piece. I use it to death. And then I'm going to want to stamp another one below it. So we're going to grab the acetate. Oh, I've got another piece. I might have another piece of acetate in here that's dirty. Yeah, there we go. I'll grab this one. Just a piece of acetate. And we're going to just pop that over the top there. This is where you get very muddy fingers because there's ink on the stamp still. So we're going to fetch the stamp off. I need to stand up to see where this is. And we're going to pop it just below, just there. Doesn't matter if it moves a bit because we can move the acetate. And we're happy. Pick it up and remember to take the acetate off. Because if you don't, you've defeated the whole object of doing it this way anyway. The reason you do it this way is because there's ink on the stamp, and if you move the stamp around while there's ink on it, you're going to get a smudgy mess underneath where you're stamping. So you don't want to do that. And you could actually do this to create a box if you wanted to, you know. You could do quite a long border, because don't forget you can also die cut it. So you could do some strips, even cut it with the postage stamp strips die, which would be quite lovely, I think. There we go. So there's a pair of borders there. Let's just get this up here. I don't think we're doing any more stamping, but we'll just put it away anyway. So there's our two bits of stamping all done. Obviously you can move it, have it closer if you want to, but I don't mind that little gap. It might be a bigger gap than I've done on the piece we're using, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one bit. Let me just grab this before I put that away. So you can see that that'll fit in nicely on the border, on the box bit in the bottom. Don't know where my head is at the moment. I'm saying all the wrong words, so I do apologise. Let's put that on. Put that to one side. So we get rid of this. And look at what we're doing next. So I've got one that's already dry here. So I'm going to do a little bit of colouring in just to show you how I coloured it in. And then we're going to jump to the one that is finished. So I've got some, these are watercolour blending brush pens from Sentimentally Yours. I think the pinks are from set 1 and the greens are they from set 2? Nope, I think they're all from set 1 actually. So, very easy to colour in. I'm not a massive colourist, but we're just going to highlight some of the detail that David's done on the rose. Maybe even do some quite dark bits in some areas. It is a bit, you know, you don't have to take a lot of care when you're doing it really, except probably don't go outside the lines if you can help it. We can disguise it a bit. Is that a rose? Oh no, that's a leaf. Sorry, pretend I didn't do that. Sorry. I can probably get rid of that actually. That's a water brush. And get rid of some of it at least. And then when the leaf, the green goes over the top, we should be able to hide it. Is that running? You can put a lot of water on this card, which is very handy when you make a mistake like that. Right, so we just ignore that for a minute. And we go back to the rose bits. I'll just do this big rose. Just put in lots of the dark pink where David's drawn the lines. A bit there. Okay. Maybe we might want a little bit more just down there because that's going to be darker than just down there. And then coming with the lighter pink, just over the top. This is where you try not to go outside the lines. I don't always like colouring in, but when I do it, I do find it very relaxing until I colour a leaf in pink. So the pens blend with themselves and also blend with water. You could go back over again with some of the dark bits if you wanted some of the dark bits to be darker, but I tend to not do that. Got hair there. So this will still continue to blend after I've finished colouring in, because that's the nature of what the blending brush pens do. I'm not sure if I did use the same. Might not use the same pinks on the one that we've got. This is more of a peachy pink, but it's nice. I like it anyway. And then for the actual rose bit here, the circles, I quite like to add some colour like that, and then we'll put some here as well. Obviously not necessary if you're just cutting the rose out, but if you were decoupaging it on, you'd want the bottom layer to have something. And then just use the water brush to pull some of the colour into the centre. And you've got like a graduation colour. You don't want the harsh lines, but as I said, they continue to blend after you've finished. And so the same thing with the leaves. I'm not going to touch that leaf because that's still wet, so we're not going to do that one. So we just do, where should we do? Let's do up here because it's way away from where I've put water. So again, exactly the same thing. Just go over the lines that David's given us, which is all. I always find that very helpful. We just do those few, and then we come in with the lighter green, just to blend it out. It's not as effective if you're not using watercolour card. You can use the cold press watercolour card as well. It's just that the super smooth watercolour card, the hot press card, is perfect for stampers because it's not bubbly. You know, like the cold press watercolour card's got a texture to it, whereas this is just smooth. So you can see on the leaf, and again that will continue to blend afterwards. So carried on colouring that in side, and here's the one I finished. As I said, that is, I think I've used a different pink because that's not a peach pink. It's slightly different, but it doesn't matter, obviously. I think what we might do is, should we add a little bit more detail? Let's just add a little bit more detail. I've got this strip here as well. You can see there's a border there because the vertical months are going to go over that section and here as well. The vertical wants to go over that section there as well. So let's just grab a stencil if I can find them. So I've got S055 Journal Stencil 6. And I did use this one on a page in January, which I really loved. And we've got this one. We've got this very lacy one. This very lacy one might be really nice. Or there's this one as well. Decisions. I think we will go for, I think we'll go for this one. And we'll add a little bit, I don't want it to be too dark, so we'll add a little bit of Kitsch Flamingo just over the top. And we'll position it like that because I know that that side there isn't going to have any on. And I probably won't go over the leaves because I don't want the leaves to take a weird colour hue. And we'll just see what it looks like. And we might add a little bit over the border as well. It might just be very subtle. Kitsch Flamingo isn't very dark, but I don't really want to go onto the Pick Raspberry at this point, I don't think. Let's have a look. Can't really see it. Let's go to Pick Raspberry then. I'll keep these quite light. Pick Raspberry can be a bit, that's better. Just a little bit. Down this side here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just a little bit in the background. Now, do I want? I think to follow suit, we might have some on this one as well, just so it follows on. It's like pattern on top of pattern. Okay, so that's that. Then what we are going to, sorry, getting carried away. I think what we will do as well, because this is going to go behind my page here, I think we do want to kind of bring, see, it looks good, doesn't it? And when the vertical monster's there, it's kind of fab. I think we do want to get a bit of, take away the harshness of the edge as well. So what do we want to do with that? That's the question. Do we want to use, I think Scorched Timber is going to be a bit dark. What did I get? I got some Mowed Lawn out for some reason. Oh, I know why I did that. Sorry, thinking ahead. Decisions. Let's just bring some Kitsch Flamingo back in again and see if that will be dark enough around the edges. I don't want to hide this stenciling that I've done. It is very pale. So I think what we'll do is thinking as we're going, changing my mind. I think what we'll do is bring in some Frayed Burlap. Because Frayed Burlap is a bit lighter, and we'll bring in the, oh, it's Oxide, it's not, hang on a sec, let me go and get the Frayed Burlap. Right, Frayed Burlap has been located, so let's see. Oh, that's better. That's going to give it more of a vintage look. Just a little bit around the edge. And I know that it's going to come in just below where it says Rose. So we're going to get all of that in. So we can then go over here. My Frayed Burlap needs re-inking. Either that, or I just need to be a bit more patient when I'm using brushes. It's probably a bit of both. I do like, actually, the way the Frayed Burlap's gone on top of the picked raspberry. That looks lovely. And so we're going to be top of the R as well. And we'll pull it in around this side here as well. Just gives it a bit more of a vintage feel. I think the Scorched timber would have been too dark. I've made that mistake before and put Scorched timber on top of a page, and it's just been too dark. I like it for just edging very lightly with an applicator, but yeah, I think that's going to be fab. So look, oh yeah, that looks much better. Yes, happy with that. So we do the same thing with the little border for down the bottom. Remember, this is one that I've stamped previously, so the ink's nice and dry. If you're using a freshly stamped image, just be careful, because Versafine Clair might smudge. Especially if you're colouring in and you're dragging your wrist over where you're colouring in. You can get yourself in a bit of a mess. I do like this on top of the picked raspberry. It works very well. Okie dokie, I think that's enough. Right, we got there in the end. We did. Right, we've got a couple of other bits to see to. Now, where's my water? There's my water. I just need to get rid of some of this ink here, otherwise we're going to have Frayed Burlap over everything. Okay, that can go to one side. And I am going to bring in a little bit of picked raspberry and a little bit of Mowed lawn, because I've got this little tiny flower. And I've also got, because February is the month of love, I've also got these that I've cut from Devid's journal sleeve fillers 2, which is 2209, and we've got that little one there, and then we've got the little flower here, and all these frames will fit in the full-size planner. So don't just think, oh no, I don't do journals like Devid does, I just use the planner. You can actually use these in your planner as well. So we're going to add a little bit of picked raspberry to this. I need some more ink. Which one is it? There it is. Oh, that's too much. Actually, that might not be too bad. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Don't panic over. And we go Mowed lawn for the leaves. I could have used the pens as well, but this is just a bit quicker. Okay, that's that. And first of all edge it with the pink raspberry. So we go over here. Try not to stick my fingers in it too much, but and then I think we'll just bring in, that's Mowed Lawn, pink raspberry, we'll just bring a little bit of Frayed Burlap just around the edges, shall we? We'll do that first, just a little bit around the edges, which is obviously going to come in a bit. And then we're going to take the Scorched Timber Oxide. So I've edged the pages with the Oxide, and we're just going to make just the very edge a bit darker. I'm not going to do it on the flower though, because it's too fiddly. Okay. And that'll go on there. It's not got adhesive on the back, so I do need to glue it. Let's get rid of this here, and we can stick our page together. Okay. Where are we at? Let's stick these together first. And you do get the little fall away letters as well. The O is just a big circle. There isn't a little O to go in the centre of the O. Just in case you're wondering why I haven't put it in, it doesn't exist. Tweezers. I know I've got them somewhere. There they are. Oh, well done, Julia. I'll deal with that when it's dry. Get rid of that. Is that central? Yeah. Okay, so we are going to put, first of all, we've got to put these in the back of my Yes Joy page. So we just glue just around the edges of the frame. Just trim it by eye, just so that it doesn't hang off of the edge. And have a look. The writing really helps you to get it straight. I'm going to go there. I don't really need to go down a bit. Just a bit. And then we're going to put the other piece on. Just be careful if you've got any glue residue. And around the edge of the bottom frame. That's very seeping out there. don't worry too much. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Don't worry too much because it's going to go on the base page as well. So it's just for the lining up that you're doing this. Hopefully that's straight. Yep. Looks a bit weird at the moment, but don't worry. I have inked around the edges of the frames as well. There we go. And then this is then going to go on the base page. Does add a little bit of a bulk because the card is quite thick. Okay, a bit more glue on that. And then this will go, as I said, on the base page. We'll turn it over this way and do it this way. It should fit exactly. So we've got to line our holes up. It does seem to be a little bit out on the side, but it's fine because it gives it a little bit of a frame and you can just ink around the edges and hide it. Faffing around a bit. Okay. Then we need our, what's it called? Vertical months that I've put down here. And I do actually, I think I do want to put some twine on this. So, a little hole punch. See if I can line that up. I'll do it that way. It's a bit awkward to see. That's not too bad. And two down here. For once, this seems to be the right size. It's too small really for the... Oh, what's going on here? Let me empty that. It is too small when you're doing tags and things and the actual planner page holes, but it does seem to be the right size for this. Struggling a bit with the watercolour card, but at the back, but never mind. And I think we'll have a little bit of twine, which I've put somewhere. There it is. And I think I'll go for this lighter colour because it kind of blends in with that. Scissors. There. Just going to have one lot through, not more than one, because I don't want it to be too thick. And we'll just knot it, I think. Do I like it like that or do I want it like that? Yeah, we have it like that. should be quite flat because it's, like I said, it's quite thin. Give this a knot. Do. And then this is going to go on here like so. Fabulous. I could have moved that border over slightly, but you know, I haven't, so this is what we're living with. I think I might just put this on with 1mm foam tape actually. There. To do a little bit less. And I will put some around the holes. I don't want to put it on there because it might be a bit thicker. Little tiny bits. Don't usually use foam tape, but it is only 1mm, so it's not too bad. Let's see if I can get the back off. And then we just need to put our 2 embellishment bits on and then some reinforcers, and we are done. I mean, you could splat a bit of gesso on, that would be quite nice as well. But I'm not going to splat with my iPad and my camera around. I'm just not brave enough. And I haven't got a splat box next to me either. Right, let's put a bit of Prit on the back so that I can move it if I need to. So this is just glue stick, in case you don't know what Prit is. Just gives you a bit of a chance of moving it. And in fact this will hide the edges of my page as well. Fabulous. Loving it, loving it, loving it. So we're going to put love in here and our little flower. Bit of a challenge this because I still haven't put glue in a fine tip glue applicator. I always talk about it, but I never do it. The thought's there, it's just never processed. So we'll put love on first. About there. And we're just going to dab off some of this glue. So that it doesn't seep everywhere. So we're going to just have that there, like so. And then we're going to add our reinforcers. And I've got some of these little square ones. I think they'll go with the square frame nicely. And I've got the Elizabeth Craft Design self-adhesive roll on the back. I use the 4-inch one, I like the 4-inch one. See if we can leave the hole behind. 3 more. I think like the first one might be a bit wonky. Oh no, I'm not moving that. That's not being moved, is it? I've actually just torn that one, so I'm going to fetch that one off. It is very good adhesive. Very good adhesive. Sometimes you can get away with moving stuff. Sometimes you don't. I mean, you don't really want to, do you? You don't really want to be moving things to move around. You want them to be permanent. There we go. There we go. Finished. As I've used wet glue, I may well put this underneath my MDF sheet so that it will flatten out a bit. But that's my February dashboard, and it's going to go into my planner. I'm using the taupe one for this year. So we've got all of January, or what I'm doing in January is done. And we're going to just pop this in here so we can start February off. Hope you've enjoyed that. Do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I love to read your comments. I'm building up quite a few ECD videos now. Yeah, thank you for watching.